word. So our first question, innate goodness is my true nature. Do I know this to be true? Yes, no, or not sure. Okay, you can only choose one. %92 of you have replied. Okay, are you able to see that? There's your results. And let's see if my just want to see if my second poll is still sitting here. No, we've only got one. Okay, we'll leave it there. I'm going to send you into breakout rooms. How capable do we feel about freeing all others from their suffering? Is it possible? Is it exhausting? How can we even start? So I'm going to send you off. If you can turn your video on, that would be fantastic.
Sorry.
No problem. So I'm going to send you into break.
Aileen, could you put the slide back again?
Sure. Okay, how capable do we feel about freeing all others from their suffering? Is it possible? Is it exhausting? How can we start? So I'll send you off into rooms for hang on, so I'm just figuring out how many to put into each room so you have enough time to chat. So you're just discussing this, the questions that have just been up on the screen, you know, because we all nod, yep, got innate goodness, but I'm just checking, like just to start to really consider how we feel, what our relationship is with regards to that potential that we all have. Okay, so I'll call you back in 10 minutes. Or maybe about 7 minutes, okay? 7 to 10 minutes. Let's see. I'll send you off. Did you want to join a room? So is anybody here wanting to join a room?
You're muted, Aileen.
Thank you very much. That sounded like Judith. Oh, it was Georgia Lama. So welcome back, everybody. What did you discover? Any feedback? You can put it in the chat or raise your hand. Your the hang on, Manjarimetta. Did you put your hand up or were you just Roshni? Go ahead, Roshni.
Yes, we were just discussing about this, and a lot of us feel that, we have so many problems ourselves. How can we even begin to think about helping others? And then we were kind of discussing about the fact that why separate the two? We are all living in some kind of an ecosystem, let's say the ecosystem of the family or the workplace or whatever. So let's not try to help myself first and then think of helping others, because we are all living in our own ecosystems which are all interdependent.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like on a flight they say that put your seatbelt on first and then try to put the seatbelt on the child. I'm saying let's not do that, because it's all interdependent. So let's not try to separate from thinking of helping us versus thinking of helping others.
Thank you, Roshni. Did you say not to put your seatbelt on because of that?
In this context, I'm saying you cannot just physically differentiate like that in this field. You have to think of it in a broader sense. I mean, in an airline, on an airplane, it makes perfect sense. But I'm saying in the broader sense of trying to help me, myself, and the problems I have in my life right now, they're all interdependent. Like if I have a family, I have relationships in my family, in the workplace. I'm saying if we can address ourselves as a part of this ecosystem and then try to address it, rather than looking at first I'll finish helping myself and I'll reach enlightenment and then try to help others. I think the path to enlightenment would be through holistically approaching this instead of separating the two.
Okay, thank you, Roshni. I'll give you an example, and we do need to move on, but I'll give you this example just to think on. And again, this is one that I think Jetsuma often uses. If I want to become a medical doctor, because I recognize that, there's a lot of disease in the world and I want to help, I don't go to the chemist shop and buy a scalpel and go out and go, got to do it now, it needs to happen now. But I would actually step away and learn how to use the scalpel and then step forward to help others. There's a lot that we can do along the way. I mean, it's not, you can do your first aid, you can do, there's a lot that we can do. But um, as you've said, it's not about separating one from the other. So the work that we do on ourselves is not separate from what we're then able to do for others. But I would say, there's again, this mutuality doesn't mean that we do everything at once, but the mutuality means that anything that we're doing at any point in time, whether it's the inner work, as Venerable Rabina was saying last night, the inner work, is the wisdom aspect, or the outer work of our compassionate activity. It's this interplay between the two as well. But yeah, we just need to move on. But thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Tinny?
Yeah, hi. Actually, we had Tenzin Paldron in our group, and she was saying something, but it got missed out because the breakout room was closed. So, could I please request you to?
Okay, Tenzin Paldron, now you're being requested to step forward. Are you there? I'm not seeing you on my.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that, yeah, right now we are very limited in our capacity to be able to benefit other beings. But that is part of why, as Venerable Rubina and Jitsuma emphasized, we work on our own minds, because we have not even realized a fraction of that potential, so that as we grow in our potential, then our ability to help others also increases. So as you said, we have to go to the medical school too and do the work in order to then actually be the best possible doctor that we can be.
Thank you, Paldrina. Yeah, and I think also, that limitation. It's important that we can recognize what those limitations are. That's our job, is to see. I mean, these are all delusions. All of our limitations, all of our afflictive states of mind, they're all delusional. But as long as they're active, as long as we're not recognizing them, they are running the show. So in recognizing those limitations, then we can work with them. We can, and there's a lot of different practices. I mean, that support that. But the challenge is that in seeing the limitation, that we don't then add the extra seal on top of it. It's like, there I go. What was I thinking? How could I ever possibly? I'm always like that. It's all of that extra layering that we do, which is the thing that we need to become that we need to recognize that that's what's going on, and then we can start to let it go and open up, and then and all of that is in the support of our capacity to benefit others.
I think one aha moment for me from yesterday was Venerable Rubina Curtin talking about cautioning us about differentiating compassion with sentimental attachment.
Yeah.
Right, while the latter could result in expectations. So I think that was a little bit of a caution for me to watch out for.
Yeah, thanks, Smitha. And this is speaking to what you've put in the chat also, isn't it? There's a chance for burnout if we don't balance compassion for others with self-compassion. Absolutely. As Jitsuma always says, it's not possible to show compassion to others without showing compassion for ourselves. So really, it's not one or the other. It is both. It seems that sometimes we can confuse compassion for others with trying to fix others. Absolutely, yes. And often that can be bypassing the truth of suffering as well. Like, is it just that we're very uncomfortable with what we're seeing in front of us, and we'd just like it to be gone? We'd like to fix it so that we stop feeling uncomfortable. A few more quotes. Not that. Oh, what I'd like to play for you, actually. Okay, somebody needs to mute. So I'll just see.
Monia?
Oh.
Monia, yeah. Okay. Thank you. She's muted. Okay. I wanted to play this. Now, who thought that they were going to get to see the American Attorney General in this talk? Hey? It's got to be a surprise. See, the American Attorney General has got a podcast. Sorry, I've just got to line it up here before I share it. Called House Calls. Oh, sorry, not the American Attorney General, excuse me, the Surgeon General. So he's got a podcast called House Calls. And in this, he's interviewing somebody called Father Greg Boyle, who is a Catholic priest working gangs in LA. And he's also there's many YouTubes that you can find. There's one where he's sharing the stage with Pema Chodron, and he speaks of bodhicitta a lot in his work. Are you looking at kindness as the only thing that isn't delusional? Is that what you're seeing now? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Another broken link. Okay, we'll come back to that.
You might want to try putting it on projection mode and then clicking.
Yeah, I won't have time because we need to finish up quite soon, but thank you. I did mention at the very beginning that you were going to need an awful lot of patience with me. and I wasn't wrong. Norman Fisher. The idea that suffering is some sort of mistake and a minor problem that we could overcome with a little bit of meditation and a positive attitude is the towering pinnacle of human deception. It's pretty powerful, I think. But I really do think that it is something that we that does have a very strong impact on us. This idea that that I'm just getting something wrong. I'm not good enough. If I could just tweak it this way, this way, this way. And so we go into our meditation practice, and this idea of the positive attitude too. Pema Chodron speaks to this as well. She suggests to us that it's actually a form of aggression. This idea that that there's something wrong and I have to improve it. I have to get rid of it. I have to fix it. So this is where self-compassion is essential, but that self-compassion is arising out of the confidence in our potential, in who we really are. And so really it's just about recognizing that, and all of the suffering that we experience in our own lives, all of the limitations that we experience. Compassion and loving kindness are the only valid responses. And that little video clip I wanted to share with you from Father Greg Boyle, where he's saying kindness is the only non-delusional response to anything. And non-delusional, again, is taking us back to its wisdom. It's arising out of who we really are. So this compassion, it's not selective. It doesn't choose. And it's not, it's ridiculous to think that we would want to go out and help others and have a negative attitude towards ourselves while we're doing it. But we do. This is what we have to see. And see it, not to judge it, not to criticize it, but to hold it. Like a mother, I was thinking of this image of like when we're kids, if we've all had, not all of us have had the childhoods where we would have mothers that we could run to be held when we were hurt, but we've all seen that. And just that image of a child being enveloped by the mother, and they're hurting, they've cut their knee, there's blood, and they want mommy to kiss it better. And it doesn't mean that the suffering goes away, it doesn't mean that the pain goes away, but there's a trust that while you are in pain, that there's this bigger, loving, maternal presence that can hold it. And really, I think that's a beautiful metaphor for our own innate goodness. It is that compassionate, spacious, loving heart that we can run to, that can hold us when we've fallen over and we're covered in blood and we're crying. So that loving presence, that's what we can come home to. So it doesn't mean the suffering goes away, but it's held in that bigger spaciousness that's willing to be with it, that's willing to tolerate the ambiguity of it. Because the mother would, if she could kiss it away, she would. But the child can rest and know that while I am limited, while I am childish, I have this bigger presence that will hold it, hold all of it. So I want you to take a break, because Jetsuma will join us in 10 minutes. I'm going to close this room. Oh, I'll leave it open, but I'll pause the recording.
Archana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's such a privilege to be here on this soulful platform amongst all of you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Suruchi, for having me here. And my humble regards to Jetsunma and everyone present here. So I hereby seek your blessings, Jetsunma, and I would love to sing this chant for you all. Aham avirohomi avyaparjo homi anigo homi sukhi attanam pariharami sabe saka avirahonto avyapachahonto anigahonto sukhi attanam pariharantu Sukhita hota dukhamuchata sadhu sadhu sadhu. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Archana. Really beautiful. We're very, very blessed to have you offer this. Thank you so much. And we do have a chant which we will share also in our.
That was enchanting.
Yeah.